Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning into Geek Impulse. I am here with the legendary one and only Kevin Sorbo. Thank you for
Ah,
being here.
my pleasure. Thanks.
Yeah, so it was kind of challenging to get you on here because you're so busy, right? And Alamo HeroCon is this weekend, which you
Yep.
are going to be there. You're going to be doing hosting a panel, if I'm not mistaken, as well as uh, VIP meet and greet, correct?
Yeah, we're doing a VIP. I've been doing these more and more at these cons now, and where we keep it sort of a group of hopefully around 50 people will be there, and we do a meet and greet. We hang out, we talk, we do an extra picture with them. We sign a special photo. I got two special photos they can choose from that won't be at the table. Then we screen an episode of either Hercules or Andromeda, and maybe I've thrown one other special surprise in there. And then we'll do a Q&A afterwards. And it's been a lot of fun. Fans seem to really enjoy it. So I hope people sign up.
I'm sure they are already. I know I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff going on there, as well as meeting you in person if given the chance. And so, what is your thoughts on conventions and things opening back up, given the situation that we're in? Because I feel like we've been so detached as
Yeah.
humans, and now things are finally starting to, I don't know, what you say, normal, or at least what it was pre-pandemic. And how do you feel about these things starting to actually come about again?
I'm glad it's happening again. I just, I hate what's going on with this. Look, I don't dismiss the fact that this virus is real and all that kind of stuff, but the reality is it really affects people more that are pre-existing conditions. People like my mom, I haven't seen her in a year now because she's 89 years old. If she gets this thing, yeah, she'll probably die from it. But for people that I think that are younger, I mean, I follow the CDC, I follow the World Health Organization, what they're saying. They're going, you know what? If you get it, it's about the same chance as you dying from the flu. It's like 99.7% chance you'll survive if you get it. So to me, it's like, let's open up the world again. We can't sit there and hide from everything forever. I hate what it's done to other people and their jobs. I mean, look, I lost 2 movies last year. I lost about 12 speaking events. I do a lot of speaking events as well. And then there were like 6 or 7 Comic Cons I was going to do. Not crying me a river. I'm just saying this affected everybody. And I hate that so many people have lost their businesses and lost their jobs. And, you look at the world right now, we have so much anger and so much hate and so much divisiveness out there. And I think stuff like this, what I like about Comic Cons is I enjoy meeting the fans. I enjoy talking to them. I enjoy hanging out with them because the reality is there's not an actor, entertainer, there's not an athlete in the world without fans, but they have any kind of careers.
Yeah.
And NBA, NFL, all that stuff. Those guys, if you don't have people watching on TV or in person, owners aren't going to pay these guys $30 million a year. There's no reason to.
No, I agree. And the fans, I'm glad you said that, because one thing I've always admired about you from past interviews and things like that is you really are humble, like in a genuine way. You realize that fans are the lifeblood of your career, essentially.
Sure. Well, you look at something like the Comic Con in San Diego. That's not really, for whatever reasons, that's never been a great autograph show for anybody, really. Which is weird, as big as it is, but it has turned into a place for Hollywood to go to. I remember when Avatar came out, James Cameron came there and showed like a 20-minute screener because he knows these are the guys that are bloggers. These are the people that reach out to people around the bloody world, So it's a smart business move to attend these things as well. But Hercules, Andromeda are still out there. People are seeing it. I'm seeing the next generation coming now. People that are now my age that make me feel old. When I shot Hercules all through my 30s, they're now in their 30s and they have their own 10-year-old kids. And so I'm getting all these little kids coming up to me now that love the series. And what's great about something like Hercules, even Andromeda, it doesn't age because, I mean, the visual effects do. I get that. But as far as when it's a period like that, it was such a fun show to be part of. We always had good humor in it. There were some dramatic shows as well, but for the most part, the show was always kept very loose and very cheesy in a positive way. And that's Sam Raimi's trademark. He was our exec producer. And I'm glad we did that because I love doing that. To me, I always want to go for the punchline anyway. I just think it's made the show so much more enjoyable. And the set on both of my series were absolutely such a pleasure to be on.
I'll definitely get into those, because those are some of the biggest fan bases I think you have is Hercules and Andromeda.
Sure.
And with that being said, like, what would you say is your favorite Hercules?
Favorite episode?
Favorite episode or just favorite
Well, you know
Hercules
what?
role?
I gotta say, we shot 5 2-hour movies, which I absolutely loved for the first year. We shot each about 10 weeks in each one, so it took up the
Wow.
whole year. But I got to work with Anthony Quinn. And people that don't know Anthony Quinn, shame on you. But he's one of the great stars from, back in the he was like, wasn't quite the golden age, it was afterwards. He's mostly in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And here's a guy that's been nominated 6 times for Academy Awards, won twice. Lawrence of Arabia, Sorbo the Greek, Guns of Navarone, Requiem for Heavyweight, all these amazing movies. And I remember asking him, it was about the second weekend of filming, and I said, Mr. Quinn, he got mad. A whole year I never called him Tony or Anthony. I couldn't do it. I called him Mr. Quinn all the time. I said, why would you want to do this? I'm just curious, because you're all you've ever done is really movies. Why would you want to do 5 TV movies? And he said, Kevin, I'm 78 years old. I've always wanted to play Zeus. When will I get the chance to do this again? So that's how it happened. And we had great stories. He told me so many stories. We had dinner every Saturday together for every week for a year. And just to get the inside of listening to the stories he had of people he worked with, from Marlon Brando to Gregory Peck to whatever. It was pretty cool for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I would say you're a very busy person, as I mentioned at the beginning, and how you said, like, you were shooting for a whole year, 10 weeks at a time, the TV movies.
Yeah.
Like how, if I did my research correctly, you currently have around 21 projects in the works right now. Like, how do you balance all of that? I mean, you're going to conventions, but you got all these projects going. What's going on, man?
I don't stop. I'm an early riser. I'm a 5 o'clock in the morning guy without having an alarm go off. And if I'm not working, I get my early morning golfing, because I love golf, but I golf very quickly. And then I hit it hard. I live in Florida now, and I do a lot of, I meet people through whatever walks of life that like the work I do, and maybe they have the means to fund movies, So I'm always talking about getting things funded. I've got a movie out right now called The Girl Who Believes in Miracles. It's a wonderful family movie I shot with Mira Sorvino and Peter Coyote. I've got 2 other movies done in the can that are coming out later. One I directed will be out this summer. I've got 4 movies lined up, and I start filming in May. So I got May, June, July, and August. I'll be nonstop. 2 of them I'm going to be directing, actually. I've got a action comedy coming out called Used Mercs. It's about 2 mercenaries. I'm playing one of the mercenaries that decide to give up the business of what they're doing, and they open a used Mercury car dealership. So there's used Mercs, and but they're still being tracked down by the guys that want to get revenge on them. So it'll be in the vein of a Die Hard, but it's going to have a lot of humor involved with it as well.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing, and you kind of hinted at something as far as a question I wanted to ask you, and that is, you do a lot of independent movies, which is great. I love them, right? Like, what inspired you to really go and essentially, one of the biggest advocates and highlighting independent films?
I think it's a great road to go on. I mean, the frustrating thing is, the movies I do in the $3 to $5 million range, and people might say, well, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but not in Hollywood, it's not. I mean, Avatar, Avengers, Thor, those are $300 million movies. A $3 million budget is maybe catering on those movies. That's a catering budget. So, but I like to do movies, I think, because I fell in love with movies at a young age, because my mom, I watched a lot of old black and white movies with Jimmy Stewart, Cary Grant, Humphrey Bogart. And I fell in love with acting through that. And what drove those movies to be such amazing movies to me were the storylines. I like the Avatar too. I mean, they're great visual effects. I mean, it's like a roller coaster ride with the Avengers and stuff like that. But the reality is I can't be Hercules, you can't be Superman. So I still like doing movies that have real characters that people can relate to. People can look at and go, I know somebody like that, or I'm kind of like that. And those are the movies I'm going to continue to do. I've got a stable of about 25 other scripts that I'm trying to put together and raise funding for now. Hey, but that's after whittling down about 800 scripts that I've read. So to me, it's like, I'm going to keep doing this because I love doing these things. I love being on the set. Independent movies, you can shoot them in 4 or 5 weeks. Sure, there's pre-production and post-production can take up to 6 months or something, but a lot of people don't know when like you look at a Clint Eastwood, when he did that $1 Billion Baby movie, he shot that in 27 days.
Oh, wow.
Avatar, Cameron's spending 3-4 years in each one of these things. And Clint Eastwood, that one, Best Picture. Morgan Freeman, Best Supporting Actor in it. She, what's her name? Come on, help me out here.
Oh,
Hillary
Swank.
Swank. Hillary
There
Swank.
you go.
She won best actor.
Yeah.
And so you can do movies that don't need to have all the special effects. That are still really good movies and touch people. I look at Green Book with Viggo Mortensen. It was a great movie. A Blind Side with Sandra Bullock. I mean, I think there's some really good movies out there that you don't have special effects. You just have good stories that people can relate to.
I agree, and a good story is something what really creates a fan base, right? That community that something like you have, and that was like a question I wanted to get into is like, how did you come about actually wanting to play Captain Dylan Hunt, right? Because he's an awesome character first and foremost, but what made you want to take on that role, and then what was your favorite scene?
Well, that's an easy question of how it happened. I was in season 7 of Hercules. And I got a call from Majel Roddenberry down in New Zealand. I was actually in contract talks with Universal to do seasons 8, 9, and 10 on Hercules. And I'm a huge Star Trek fan, the original series. I mean, I grew up watching the reruns all through the 70s. I mean, I remember in college, in the late 70s and the early 80s when I was in college, where me and 3 other buddies on my floor, it was 10:30 to 11 was Twilight Zone. And 11 and 12, it was Star Trek. So I've probably seen every Star Trek episode, I don't know, 50 times. So when Majel calls me up and she said, "Hey, Kevin, I've got a show that my husband Gene Roddenberry wrote back in 1969, and I think he would be honored to have you play the first captain he ever created after Captain Kirk in the name of Captain Dylan Hunt." And I said, "Majel, stop. When do I start?" Is what I said. So. And they gave me a deal that was just too good to refuse. When I say the deal, it was the contract. It was a 3-year guarantee that they were going to do 66 episodes. We ended up doing 110, and we would have done more. We were the #1 show in first-run syndication, the same place where Hercules picked up on. But the only reason why it ended at season 5 is because the Tribune company that owned us out of Chicago went into bankruptcy. And when you go into bankruptcy, you have to freeze all your assets. And then they shut the show down. We were like the only thing making money for them. I think they had 2 other shows that were doing pretty good for them too, Beastmaster and Mutant X. But it was frustrating for all of us because we all would have had at least 2 more years. And it was a bummer. I shot that up in Vancouver, loved it up there, BC, the Canadians. It was great up there. The people are great, and the city is it's beautiful, it's stunning.
Well, do you think, given that you're doing a lot of independent films, that you might actually do something yourself to create more Andromeda in the future?
What's weird, because they think they were in the courts. Lawyers are. They go back and forth behind backs. It's collusion everywhere. And so it lasted, I think, at least 6 years. At least 6 years. And that really opened up the door for me to really start doing more independent movies. I did some bigger ones that were big theatrical ones, like Soul Surfer. I'm doing the Reagan movie right now with Dennis Quaid's playing Ronald Reagan. I'm playing his pastor. I got 1 week left filming up in Oklahoma on that. I like that independent world. I like the fact that we don't got the big studios bearing down on us and bugging us. I mean, I feel the freedom we have in the set. When I direct these movies as well, I love a set that works hard, but at the same time it has a lot of fun. I'm not a dictator on set, but I keep the hours quick. I mean, I move things along, and to me, there's so much wasted time on television and movie sets, and there's no reason for that. You don't have to. I mean, when I work with these younger directors and you're starting to work 16-hour days with these guys, I'll always come up to them and go, "Hey, by the way, Clint Eastwood shoots 8-hour days and makes Academy Award-winning movies. You don't have to shoot 16-hour days. You just have to have people that are good at their jobs and work. And actors got to show up knowing their lines and hit their marks. But let's have fun doing it at the same time, because to me, that's what makes this business amazing. I love the creative process. I love the fact, I call it organized chaos. If you had a bird's eye view of a set before the take, all these people, hair and makeup people, camera guys, lighting guys, everybody's running around, and action, and then it goes into that place, and it's just a wonderful place. And I still get very excited to be part of that, and I'm really enjoying directing more as well. So it's been a good ride. It's been a lot of fun, but I would love to go back and do another series. I had a couple that I thought were going to go for sure. When there was one that tested #1 for ABC back in 2005 that I did called Bobby Cannon. It was written by Barry Kemp. Barry Kemp created the Coach series with Craig T. Nelson, the Norm Macdonald series, the Bob Newhart series. And we tested #1 for ABC after we shot the pilot. And, the president at the time decided not to do it, which is just weird to me. Why would you spend money testing all these shows around the country? We tested #1 in every market.
And not move forward with it.
No, it was like Coach meets Cheers is what it really was. And I played a quarterback at the end of his NFL career to find out that the draft day, the first person they picked as a young stud quarterback out of Texas A&M, and I realized my days are numbered. So, but it was a lot of fun. We had a great cast in it, So, but this happens all the time. People out there don't realize that these studio execs kill a lot of shows because of politics, because of, when I say politics, I'm not saying a Democrat, Republican thing. I'm saying I promised this guy I was going to do this for him. I promised that guy. So, and I didn't like that guy that directed that thing. I didn't want his show. I mean, it's weird. There's a lot of pettiness in Hollywood, just like anything, I think.
Got it. Yeah, I definitely agree. I tried to dabble in some acting and doing stuff myself back in the day, and found out a lot about that, and kind of turned me off a little bit. But
where are you based, by the way? I'm sorry.
Irvine, California.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
So not too far.
I was in LA for years, but I moved out to Florida about 2.5 years ago. But we've been thinking about doing it for the last 6-7 years. So
yeah, I'm going to be moving out of California soon too, and migrating my businesses with all the taxes and stuff. Not to get too political.
Crazy.
California is way too much.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad because it's such a beautiful place, but it's unfortunate what's going on there right now.
Exactly. So, I know you're probably really tired. I don't want to keep you very much longer.
No, it's good. We're all good. I just I'm a little sweaty. I just got done with a good workout.
Yeah.
I still work. I'm an old dude, but I still work out every day. So
yeah, I mean that is the thing, right? You seem to do a lot of roles where you're shirtless, if I may say.
I used to.
What?
I'm not as buffed as I was in the Hercules days, but
got it.
I still like to hit the gym, but that's the old jock in me. I played sports, and I love I still love sports.
If I understand it, you and Bruce Campbell are friends, correct?
Bruce is a good guy. We actually did a charity golf event together not too long ago. I get very funny emails from Bruce. It's too funny. He was such a pleasure to work with on Hercules. We had so much fun on that, and Bruce would always email me when he wasn't on. If he was back in America while I was still filming down there, he'd say, "This is your only true friend in the Northern Hemisphere calling you right now." But Bruce is a hoot. We got the team up together and golfed at this charity event they did, which was a lot of fun recently, and we're gonna do it again later this year.
Awesome. Well, I definitely look forward to meeting you in person. And I just wanted to say,
are you coming out to the con?
Yes, I'm going to be there. I'll be there
awesome.
Friday. Yeah, so
cool.
I'll definitely be there Friday. Me and my staff will be there. Cool. We're going to be, if everything goes well, we'll also be covering the panels and then going around and talking with everybody, things like that. And so we would love to meet you in person, and
of course,
that would be fantastic. So yeah, we'll be there. And I guess what I was going to say too is we're a veteran-owned business, and we have a couple of veterans here with us. Not with me right now. Yeah, I'm at my home office. And we just want to say thank you for being somebody who's consistently been supporting veterans.
Right.
And so we want to say we really appreciate that.
Well, my brother was 23 years in the Army, Lieutenant Colonel Scott Sorbo. And I do a lot of speaking events. I'm here actually in Denton, Texas right now. It's about north of Dallas. And I got 2 speaking events tomorrow. And I just had one up in Lincoln, Nebraska last night. And the first thing I always do is ask all the veterans to stand up to be recognized, because, without these guys, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have, even though people are trying to take our freedoms away now. But, I'm definitely a believer in it. And I got to always give hats off to Gary Sinise. Gary Sinise is this generation's Bob Hope, and he does it in a very quiet way. But he's been over to Afghanistan, Iraq with his Lieutenant Dan band probably 40 times over the years. Yeah. And he builds homes for veterans who have lost limbs and need a restart. I mean, he's an amazing man, and I really think people should be singing his praise, but he's a low-key guy, and he does it under the radar, and I don't know why, but that's what he does. That's just the way he is.
It's awesome. Well, again, I appreciate it. And before we go, is there anything at all you want to say to the fans that are going to Alamo Hero Con and fans worldwide?
Well, I hope to see everybody soon. I hope we get more and more is going on. I know I booked about another 3 or 4. No, gosh, well, another 6 or 7. I usually do about 6 or 7 a year, but I've already done a couple this year, and the fans have been great. And when you come up and you want to do a selfie with me, take your mask off, okay? It's just I'm not against masks, but I'm pro face. So when we're doing a picture together, let's have a memory of seeing our faces together.
Yeah.
But I'm very grateful for people who've been out there through the years that support my career. I've done a lot of variety of movies as well. Shot over 60 movies since the Hercules years. Not all of them are great. There's a dozen I wish I didn't do, but these things happen sometimes. And overall, it's been a good road, and I'm not slowing down, guys. I love doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep working until I can't golf anymore. As long as I can keep golfing, I'll keep shooting movies.
Yeah, I noticed you do play golf quite a bit. I looked at your Instagram as of late, and it's just golf, something, golf. Yeah.
I just played 2 days ago in Florida. There's a PGA event going on right now, and I played in the Monday Pro-Am, which was a blast. So if people watch the Valspar golf tournament this weekend that are golf fans, that's the course I just played with a fellow PGA guy, and it was pretty fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Sorbo, or Kevin. I don't know what I should call you.
Call me Kevin. Kevin, and kevinsorbo.net is a good place to go to find out what's going on. It's a website there, and you can get all kinds of stuff there too if you want to order my books. I'll have 2 of my books. I got a book called True Strength. The other one's called True Faith. That'll be on my desk as well. But
awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to get a signed copy of it.
So check it out. Yep.
All right, got it. Thank you so much, Mr. Sorbo, Kevin. You're a legend, and we really do appreciate you being here. And we'll put this up on YouTube for you, and make sure we put your website there as well too. So thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate it.
Cool. And we'll see you in a couple days.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Take care.
All right. Safe flights.